Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Asagao Academy with our lovely Shane here with his unamused look. So maybe he felt bad for making such a big deal out of it last time, or maybe he knew crumpets were so basic it was almost impossible to mess them up. He carefully inspected its surface, the butter having cooled and formed a glaze between the cut halves. Not bad, it smells pretty good too. He peeled off a chunk and brought it to his lips. You made them yourself, he said. Yes. I nodded furiously. He stared inside the crumpet chunk. He glanced at me again, then sighed. Nothing for it. He popped the chunk into his mouth, chewing thoughtfully. His head tilted from side to side. I was practically bursting, unable to breathe until I saw his reaction.
Yeah.
Not bad at all, Hana.
Yay!
Good job, me. I grabbed the other crumpets from the bin, ready to put them all on display, and in that moment Shane wolfed down the entire rest of the crumpets. Ugh. Shane's hand flew to his throat. He croaked, then gasped and started to cough. He stood his chair knocked to the floor behind him. The room fell silent as I realized what was happening. He's choking! Somebody help him! I scanned the room, the normal boots table, the hidden block table, but all the faces stared blankly at me. At this rate, Shane was going to die. I had to try something, anything. Give him some tea, ask someone for help, feed him more crumpets. Why would we feed him more crumpets? We can't give him some tea because he's choking. I don't even know what that maneuver is, so let's ask someone for help. I'll be right back. I'm going to get the nurse, okay? I hesitated a moment, then mentally smacked myself for assuming he would respond. I bolted from hall to hall until I reached the nurse's office and threw open the door. I may have just killed someone! Mr. McPasta hunched over a piece of paper at the desk, straightened immediately. You did what? Crumpets, Shane, friend, little grilled pancakes, and feelings and emotion that just hurry up, he's choking! The nurse jumped to his feet and immediately strode out the door. Lead the way! Our steps weren't loud against the concrete, but as we neared the cafeteria, Shane's hacking cough became clearly audible. Shane? Did I really kill the boy I liked with my cooking? His life brought to a cold end by my warm and spongy cakes. I thought I was fast enough. I thought I could have made it back before anything serious happened, but in reality, I abandoned him when he needed me most. The nurse ran in ahead of me just as I rounded the corner. I heard a massive gasp. No, not quite a gasp, an exhale. Shane was doubled over, gasping for breath. For breath, his hand around his neck, Molly stood behind him and one hand on his back. Is it all out? It's fine. Just need a drink. He peered at something on the floor, a thick cluster of soggy and broken crumpets. Something violently green was puking out of it. I knew where Mai's missing figure went. Her itty-bitty kitty's head smiled at me from the mush. Hopefully she didn't want it back. I wanted to say something to Shane, but no matter how I tried, I couldn't make my body move. Mr. McPasta gently stood Shane straight.
Are you feeling alright?
Are you okay now? Shane nodded, still trying to catch his breath. We should probably do an examination back in my office. When you feel ready, come on up. Mr. McPasta nodded at him, then left the room. I was surprised he didn't stick around, but as a sole nurse in school, it was probably bad for him to leave the office for too long. Shane leaned against the chair, much of the color returning to his face. When he finally looked at least somewhat well, he turned to the door.
Shane.
Hana, that's enough. It's probably best to give him some time to recover. That was a pretty horrific incident. I can't believe I just ran off. I feel horrible. But I mean, I don't know what to do. I'm too weak to smack the thing out of him. Please, if Mai hadn't shown up when she did, then you would have been his only hope. It was the best way you could have helped. It's scary, but it could have been a lot worse. None of us knew what to do, so honestly, thank you, Hana. Jared was suave as ever, even at a time like this. Lucky I got here when I did. But it's not like a few more seconds would have actually killed him. She smiled nervously at me. My distress was more apparent than I thought. Don't think too hard on it, Hana. It's just another lesson learned for our cooking. She and Jared chuckled, and I couldn't help but smile, just a little. I just hoped Shane was alright. We're just trying so hard to get him to like us, and it's just all backfiring. Guilt followed me like a hunting dog. Shame was built into my everyday routine. I went to class with him, I ate with him, I walked the halls with him. It was painful to see him everywhere, especially when I felt so bad. Eventually, I started avoiding him. When people asked me where I was, I told them I had things to take care of. Besides, I really did have more important things to take care of, like my tournament. I held the right trigger button, forcing blocks to lift from the floor. It was how I like to begin matches, even in single-player rounds. I like having more blocks to play with. It helped me get better chains, and honestly, it felt better to look at. As I set up my first combo, I glanced up at my score. It had been 2 minutes, and yet my score was so low. Even intermediate players know how to focus on score instead of time. Shame popped into my head as he did. My hand slipped. I covered the wrong block, and my 11-chain combo vanished from view. No! Are you kidding me? I sighed, starting over from scratch. Jared told me to give Shane time to sulk, but would he really forgive me if I just let him wallow?
Hey!
Hey, Hano. How was there ever a bad time to apologize? What if he got mad that I didn't? What if it seemed half-hearted by the time I finally did? Hana? Caddy tapped my forehead. Caddy, what are you doing here? I could be asking you the same thing, not gonna eat with the rest of them? He pointed at my phone, a glint in his eyes. Oh, you know, just practicing. Caddy sighed and took a seat on the bench next to me. So, something's on your mind, right? I heard about what was up with Shane. Is it really bothering you this much? I'm not sure what I should do. I want to apologize to him, but Jared said it would make things worse. I can't help feeling like it's the only option I have. Why do you feel like you have to? It doesn't seem to me like you have much to be worried about. Not much to be worried about? He doesn't even look at me anymore. He slumps around, completely ignoring me. He even turns his head away. It has to be on purpose. Kade lifted his brow at my sudden burst, but didn't seem shaken by it at all. He wafted his hands around through the air, as if dispersing the moment from time. Hana, you make it sound like you've been doing nothing but staring at him every waking moment. Does he really give anyone any attention if they aren't talking to him? I haven't seen anyone have a word with him for a good while now. Just as you said, he slumped around, dragging his feet barely alive. Yet somehow he's more productive than ever. He leaned towards me, talking in a slight whisper. Shane's not the kind of person to hide his anger. If he really has a problem with someone, he'll do what he has to work it out. I should know. One time the British student coalition was split down the middle. It was a nightmare. I balked. The idea that Shane wasn't angry at me was harder to believe than the fact that Asagao had a secret society reserved specifically for foreign students. Then why has it been like this? And why hasn't he told us what was wrong? I wish I knew. For whatever reason, he finds it easier to disappear. No warning, no goodbyes, no anything, just the absence of Shane. Don't take it personally, Hana. Seriously, if he was mad at you, you'd know.
Yeah!
Think of it as Shane's super secret seclusion season. There's a reason for it, but the reason is for him and only him to know. I glanced down at my phone, small armies dancing across the screen. If this was all true, maybe I really should leave him alone. Caddy leaned over to examine my screen. That game's harder when you're playing against other people, right? Way harder. Anyways, thanks for your help, but why are you out here instead of having lunch with the hidden block? You know, I just wanted some fresh air and I saw you sitting here, no other reason. He chuckled nervously, then said,
See you later.
Well, it's about time for class. I'll see you around, Hana. Bye. See you later, Caddy. Peace out. Don't know much about you, but peace out. See you at the tournament. Caddy turned and screamed at me from the halfway down the hall. You'll regret going against us. I watched Caddy go, still feeling a bit unsettled. Everyone kept saying I shouldn't apologize to Shane, but I wasn't so sure. I almost killed him after all. Should I at least give it a shot? Well, learning from PBG, I was too sincere. I was too caring and cared too much. So let's actually let him be. Because I feel like that's what the game wants me to do, to let him be. And not be the goody two-shoes that I am in real life. I should just let him be. The others were right. We will come around eventually. He will come around eventually. Eventually. Because that's what I messed up on PPG. Because I was too caring. But as time went on, my faith in Shane started to shake. A straight week passed and he still hadn't spoken to me. What the hell, dude? Come on now. Everyone kept telling me not to worry and that Shane wouldn't be mad, that Shane wasn't the type of guy to let it get to him, or that I had to let him cool off. But at this point, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't worried about him cooling off. I was more worried about me. I couldn't get out of my mind. At lunch in class, I was always staring at him and wondering whether we were cool. So she's caring too much is why she's scared. I almost never saw Shane in the morning anymore. He always slipped into class seconds before the bell rang. That's why when I saw him rushing into Poppy that morning, I found myself hesitating. Hey! Go on without me. I need to grab something real quick. Really? But... sorry. So I slipped away after him, following him through the halls. I had to finally talk to him. I couldn't live with this on my mind every hour of every day. I kept a bit of distance between us, hoping he wouldn't turn around and see me. Would this be easier if I had a disguise? I eyeballed a trash can in the middle of the hall. Shane turned up the staircase ahead of me. I waited a minute before following him up to a heavy door, leading outside to the rooftop. We have a rooftop? I had no idea this place even existed. I peeked out the window inside of the door, but all I could make out was the bright turquoise of Shane's Norma Boots jacket. He was crouched over something. What was he doing? I took a deep breath and pushed open the door as silent as I could. Oh, he's watering flowers. Shane stood over a box lined with blooming flowers, watering can in hand. He was watering the plants. A light breeze swept across the rooftop, stirring his hair and the leaves. They looked almost like they were trembling in happiness. I must have gasped or made some other noise because Shane looked over his shoulder. Hey, hey, I see you there. Hi, Hana. I'm sorry. Don't be. Are you the gardener? Yes, I get up early anyway. As he turned towards me, his watering can swung with him. Little droplets of water shook off, dotting the concrete. Why don't you come and sit? Really? He stared at me blankly, and I hastily crossed over to the bench and sat down. It wasn't every day Shane was so open after all. I clasped my hands together, watching Shane water the plants. It was just the two of us in the sky, and it didn't feel weird at all. But usually the silence between us made me uncomfortable, and I spent all my energy trying to fill it. But this was nice. You weren't ignoring me then. That's a relief. Oh no, I was. What? Originally, I was just hoping we wouldn't acknowledge it. Then I got this job. What was I supposed to do? He lifted up his watering can and started pouring it out on a single flower for a while. I didn't know how to approach you. I know you felt bad. Then so much time passed, there was no way to not to acknowledge it. At least you don't hate me. Shane chuckled softly, the last few drops of water falling onto the poor flower. Of course not. He picked up a pair of clippers and, with almost no ceremony, snipped off a wilting leaf at the stem. First you drown the poor things, then you cut off perfectly healthy leaves? He stopped looking between the clippers foliage at me. And me. Who hired you to be the gardener? Shane looked sadly down at his maimed plant. No one else wanted to do it. I couldn't let them die. Shane. No, I was just joking. But, they're not going to like you after they see what you've done to their friends. Do you want some help? Shane looked at his plants, then back to me. They're not bad. They actually look quite healthy. My mother used to garden. I know a lot about plants because of that. I joined him at the box and he offered me his watering can. Thanks. This is so adorable. I'm so glad I chose this route after the PPG. Because PPG's route I thought was the best ever. But now that I'm playing this route, I feel like his was... his is way better for me personally as my personality. Sorry. Tyler's mom is texting me because I'm the only person in this house right now, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And then she texted again, "Hello." So I'm trying to quickly tell her, "Yeah, I'm recording, so I'm not looking at the phone a whole lot." There we go. All right, she should be good now. I crouched low, examining the plant he was just tending. They'll cut off stems that aren't completely dead. They'll perk up eventually with some water and sunlight. For some reason, being near plants made me lower my voice, like I was talking to a child or someone who was scared. I didn't want to alarm them. I wanted to feel safe. Okay. She's like, "Okay, love you." Alright. She's just making sure I'm okay. Because, I mean, it's not safe for a tiny little girl to be alone in this house. Yeah. But I have my 2 doggies. They're my security alarm, so I didn't want to alarm them. I wanted them to feel safe. Shane nodded, staring hard at the plant. Knowing him, he was committing the information to memory. But maybe I should come up with you in the mornings. I have to make sure you don't kill the flowers, after all. Fair enough, Flower Queen. Why didn't you tell anyone about this anyways? I mean, I don't think guys would really want to tell other guys, like, "Hey, I gotta wake up early in the morning to water some flowers." I didn't want to tell the guys. Now that I thought about it, I didn't blame him. They never let him live it down. It's really great you're doing this. It's nothing, really. I handed the watering can back to Shane, and he took it to a dusty little shed in the corner of the roof. I followed him to the door, scanning the garden as I went. Oh, an Asagao flower. Wait, those are flowers? A morning glory bloomed in the box next to me. I didn't know they grew here. It's kind of the name of the school. That's right, Asagao Academy. Of course they had them around. It was the first one to show this spring. My mom used to grow morning glories. She loved them. Does she garden a lot? She did when she was still around. Oh, sorry. After she passed away, my dad tried to take care of her flowers. They died too. She was an amazing gardener though. People loved her flowers and she loved them like they were her own children. Hana means flower. I like to think that that's why she named me that. After the things that brought her the most joy. We both stood in silence, watching the single blue flower tremble in the breeze. It'll be great to see them around here, especially if you're taking such good care of them. I took a deep breath. I accepted my mother's death a long time ago, but I almost never talked about it. I wasn't even sure whether mine knew. No, mine doesn't even know. They will be great with your help. This might be not the best time for me to say this, but I've been thinking. Shane studied the skyline. I turned and joined him, watching the clouds billow over the distant green mountains. About you. On the team, I mean. Alright. I kinda was hoping you were just thinking of me in general. I know how hard you've worked to get better at Dumby Doom's revenge. While you're not where we'll all like you to be, I want you on the team. You do? Yes. That's it? Yes? You're not going to make me jump through any more hoops? Another skill test? Some homework? A list of combo techniques? No, no more of that. I'm sorry I gave you a hard time. I just wanted to make sure you had the potential. And you finally saw it. Thanks. It means a lot that you changed your mind. You know, I'll do my best. When you fail, it'll just be more of an I told you so. Shane! He raised his hands up. No, you're not innocent. Let's go to class before I find a way to blackmail you. We could blackmail him? Shane and I started meeting up at the rooftop early every morning. In no time I was caring for the flowers under his gentle guidance. So this is the one, huh? I tilted my watering can over the richly purple irises. They remind me of morning glories. Shane stepped from behind the other flower aisles and a large and oddly shaped watering can in his hands. They get that a lot. He tipped the watering can and instead of watering one spot as I expected, the can watered 9. Whoa, that's incredible! The gardener's got to look after his tools too. Siberian irises need tons of water. The smallest difference can change whether something lives or dies. That should be good. We're running late. I checked my phone, realizing for the first time exactly how late we were. We hurried to the first floor, hoping class hadn't started. We would never hear the end of it if we showed up late together, not just from the class, but from Miss Shizuka. As we neared the door, John poked his head out. Aww. Was he cooing at us? It almost seemed like he was imitating shocks. Shane narrowed his eyes. What? John slid into the classroom as we approached. Miss Shizuka might not have been in yet, and this is where we are going to stop. Bloop. Right there. So, we are getting better with Shane. We're actually having a gardening mornings together. I don't know. I was trying to make something cute, but didn't work out. But thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.